We do have the former Chief of Staff, Johnny Osei Kofi, on the telephone. Good evening, sir. We're grateful that you could make time to join us. So you are putting on record that a total of 641 vehicles were handed over appropriately to the current MPP administration?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So are you able to tell, I mean, I know that the MPP side, the government team should be answering this question as well, but are you able to say emphatically that none of your members, that's the former appointees under the Mahama administration, had taken any car home that is not due them?
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm saying.
So where are these 641 cars?
What we can do now to help everybody, ourselves, the government and Ghanaians, is that the team that did the handing over on the transport and logistics should be able to meet and reconcile the figures. Because if we begin to talk on air, in the papers, on TV, etc., we will never come to a conclusion that will be satisfying, to three sides. That is the government, then the outgone government, and then the people of Ghana. I think that we are all here in this country. The personalities that did the transfers, they are there. We should be able to sit down and do the reconciliation.
Mr. Kofi, I'm not cutting you in, but we know that if you say the cars are there and the officials who handed over these cars are there, it's a pretty straightforward thing. But for the current government to say 200 of the vehicles cannot be traced is a serious matter. So will you tell us who perhaps received the keys for these 641 cars you've just told us about?
That is precisely what I'm trying to drive at. What I'm trying to drive at is that who received which keys, who received which cars, who saw which cars, the location of these cars, whether they were all at the presidency, or some of them that were assigned to ministries and so on were there. We should be able to find out. Because 200 is quite a large number.
Yes.
And I think to bring matters to a healthy conclusion, I think that is what both sides must do to help Ghanaians to understand it. But I do not believe that any functionary of the outbound government, that is the NDC government, did take any of these vehicles into their private homes. Because the vehicles were never registered in their names. They don't even have papers on the vehicles. They are all in the archives or the offices of the Flagstaff House. So those things can be certified. Because if you take a government vehicle home, how are you going to use it? Who is going to register it for you? DVLA will question you. Customs will question you. You will be found out. There's no way I think anybody can take these things and think that the police will not stop you somewhere to ask for your papers and you don't have it. It's not healthy. I believe that the statement that has been put out calls for an interrogation of the whole process so that we will find out whether the 200 vehicles are actually missing or cannot be traced.
But Mr. Kofi, your statement, the press release you issued, stated emphatically that Mr. Ahin's comments represented what you call a continuation of the distortion and bad faith that have characterized the conduct of the MPP side of the transition team. That's a serious statement to make emphatically, especially under the circumstances. So you say they're distorting the facts. So it's not 200, or you mean that there couldn't possibly be 200 cars that cannot be traced?
I am saying that if Mr. Ayin is saying that 200 cars cannot be traced. What does that mean? Does it mean that the cars don't exist anywhere, in the government circles? So I still believe that the meeting that must be called by Mr. Ahin or the appropriate officers, of the Flagstaff House should be able to establish that. Within a week, we should be able to come to a conclusion on this. But I believe that 200 cars cannot just get missing.
Cannot just get vanished like that. But Mr. Kofi, we're also we're learning that some of the vehicles were revalued and sold. Can you confirm that? And under what circumstances were these vehicles sold to former government appointees?
I think that was part of the transition arrangement. So the transition team must have records of which cars, were, properly, allocated to government functionaries who went through the process, to acquire them. These things are on record.
Right, Mr. Kofi, we're grateful for your time. I know that this is a matter we need to make time extensively to explore all the angles involved, as these allegations are pretty serious. But